Hi and welcome, my name is Johnny Fergan. I'm from All Total Coaching. What I want to talk to you today is why spoiling kids will ruin their lives and yours. But before we start, I'd like to mention a book that I worked diligently for 12 years, How to Be a Man, What Your Father Never Taught You. What is this book all about? It's about how to be a man in this feminized society. We talk about manhood. What is a man? How to be a man. Women, relationships and sex, media manipulation and indoctrination via movies, and give proof how the media manipulate and lie to you. Health, food and exercise and why it's so important. Money, wealth, what you need to know, what you're not taught at school. And this is the one topic that you use every day but nobody teaches it. And I explain the basics on money in my book. Value, what it is and why it's so important. How to overcome the biggest phenomenon in a generation of depression and fear, where 8 people commit suicide in Australia a day, 6 are men. Look up www.abs, Australian Bureau of Statistics, /suicide.com.au/suicide, and you will find it. That I didn't make up these figures. Happiness and fulfillment, feminism, the real truth, family court and the consequences, false accusations, social etiquette, how to be social, build a great network, keep up, how to maintain your relationships, some of the rules that will save your life, sources and resources. So today, I'd like to talk about why spoiling children will ruin your life and their lives. For starters, when you spoil kids, they become entitled. And the problem is with entitlement, when a person, whether it's a boy or girl or whatever, that once they're entitled, the entitlements only grow and grow and grow and grow. And these are the kids you see on trains, on buses, they throw tantrums because their parents are pathetic, they didn't put boundaries. They didn't discipline them. They let them get away with whatever. And a kid that you do not put discipline on and put boundaries to, he doesn't know where to stop. And the more once you don't put discipline, the kid doesn't feel you care. And the only way a kid can find that he cares is when you're disciplined. At this point, I want to thank my parents, both of them, for disciplining me not once or twice, and even smacking me in the face after I made certain stupid comments when I was a kid. Because those smacks, after 35 years, I still remember them. And they were correct. And to be honest with you, my parents were very slow, and they didn't discipline me enough probably. And therefore, but I still want to thank them because I still remember the thanks because they disciplined me. And when you do not discipline children, they have no incentive to modify their behavior because there's no boundaries. There's no consequences to their behavior. And when there's no incentive, do you think they're going to finish their food or do their homework or stop doing drugs? And once you don't discipline your kids, they become more and more arrogant. And when they become more arrogant, they use foul language against you. They do drugs at home. And they're going to make your life a misery. And you're going to say, where did I fail? Because you didn't put boundaries from the beginning. I'll give you an example. When a tree grows, it's very small. It's very easy to modify that particular tree when it's small and put a stick so it goes straight. But if you do not put a stick and don't put it in the right way, the older it gets, the harder and stronger that tree becomes, and it's harder to modify. It's the same thing with children. I'm not saying be violent towards them, but you need to put discipline and you put boundaries and consequences to their actions. Because if you don't, the tree will go crooked and crooked and crooked. And then one day when you realize you should have done X, Y, Z, it's usually too late. So these are the things what I wanted to say to you today. Why spoiling children will ruin their lives and your lives and make your life hell. Because you know and I know when kids turn out to be out of control, it's because their parents were too nice, too goody-goody, too nice, and didn't put discipline and boundaries and didn't give them any incentive to modify their behavior, and they didn't punish them. And therefore they become entitled. And the entitlement grew and grew and grew over years, over time. And they use foul language against you. Not to mention some kids grow up to a point where they actually hit their kids. You've heard it and I've heard it. And why? because their parents were too nice, too softy, and didn't make the kids pay for their ill actions. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. I talk about this also in my book, How to Be a Man, What Your Father Never Taught You. Purchase a book. You have 30-day money-back guarantee. Links below. This will change your life. How to Be a Man, What Your Father Never Taught You. And if you don't want to learn, you'll keep making the same mistakes again and again and again, wondering why your life is a mess. Thank you very much for listening. Email us at john@sosdating.com. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you know what? I'm your friend, Johnny.